Good morning, students. Welcome to Diamond Group of Institutions. We are going to discuss the next session of the chapter Moving Charges and Magnetism. And yesterday, we already gone through the topic Biot-Savart's law. And before going to next topic, still once again we are going to recall this Biot-Savart's law because it is most important to our topic. See, Biot-Savart's law. There is a conductor called XY, So how much the current is flowing here is I, and here we consider a small element that is called, small length is called dl, and the product of I and dl is called current element, and theta is the angle between this current element as well as this point P, that is the line joining the point, and where r is the distance of the point P, and at that point P we are going to calculate the magnetic field, that is dB. See once again, the conductor, how much the current is flowing here, I, and the current element and the line joining the point, what is the angle here, theta. dl, we consider small, infinitesimally small length, that is called dl, and having distance r, then we are calculating the magnetic field at a point P due to the current I. That means whenever a current flowing through a conductor, always there is going to be produced a magnetic field. So that magnetic field dB we are going to calculate at a point P. So now according to Biot-Savart's law, whatever the magnitude of magnetic field is directly proportional to I, that is strength of current, and magnitude of magnetic field is directly proportional to length. Next, this magnetic field is directly proportional to sine of the angle. Next, this magnetic field is inversely proportional to r square, that is square of the distance. dB is directly proportional to I, dB directly proportional to dl, dB is proportional to sine theta, and dB is inversely proportional to distance, square of the distance. And I into dl, we can say directly current element. So directly we can say that the magnetic field is directly proportional to current element as well as sine of the angle. And where is that angle is? Here in the figure. And r is the distance. The point P, wherever we are calculating the magnetic field, that point P is at a distance r from the element. So if you combine these four equations, we are going to write it as combinedly dB I dl sine theta divided by r square. So dB proportional to I dl sine theta divided by r square. So if you use the constant, that is dB equal to constant k is called constant of proportionality, I dl sine theta divided by r square. So in place of k, we can write in free space, we can say what is the value of k is mu naught divided by 4 pi. What is the value of k? Mu naught divided by 4 pi. And what is the value of mu naught value? 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7. So what is the value of mu naught? 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7. So in place of k, if you substitute this value, we can write dB equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sine theta by r square. dB equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sine theta by r square. So this is the mathematical expression for Biot-Savart's law. It is also called Laplace law. We can say it is also called Laplace law. So this law explains regarding the magnetic field along a conductor, and in that conductor how much the current is flowing here, I, and here we can say what is the final answer, dB equal to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sin theta by r. If theta is 0, if theta equal to 0, that means the angle creating is 0, then here sin theta means sin 0 degree becomes 0. That means what is the magnetic field is here 0. If angle is 0, here sin theta term is there, so sin 0 degree becomes 0, implies magnetic field is 0. Next, if theta equal to 90 degree, if theta equal to 90 degree, sin 90. So what is the value of sin 90? 1, implies dB value becomes mu naught by 4 pi into I dl divided by r square. Sin term becomes 1 because the angle is 90 degree, sin 90 becomes 1. So what is the expression? dB equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I dl divided by r square. So if the angle is 0, that is parallel, then or linear, no magnetic field is going to be produced here. And where is angle is 90 degree, the magnetic field is going to be produced here. And also we can calculate the magnetic field of any conductor using the expression dB equal to mu naught by 4 pi into I dl divided by r square. The most important derivation, it is going to be asked for 5 marks. Most expected question, magnetic field at a point along the axis of a circular coil carrying current. Here there is a circular coil. In that circular coil, how much the current is flowing here is I, and what is the center of the circular coil is O. It is at a distance x. The point P is at a distance x from the center of the circular coil O, and the radius is R. And we can see here there are two current elements, AB as well as A dash B dash. So this AB element having distance A from the point P, and this is also having same distance. So at point P, we can say there are two current elements. So there is a production of two magnetic fields here. So based on AB, there is a magnetic field is dB. A dash B dash producing magnetic field dB. So this magnetic field is divided into two components, dB sin alpha, dB cos alpha, and this dB is divided into two components, dB sin alpha, dB cos alpha. So this dB sin alpha, both are in same direction. So that's why they are added. Whereas dB cos alpha are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction, hence they cancel each other. So we want the resultant magnetic field. So that's why D becomes summation of 2 dB sin alpha. Means dB sin alpha plus dB sin alpha becomes 2 dB sin alpha. Next, 2 as it is mu naught by 4 pi into I dl divided by a square. That is this equation. This equation we got it from Biot-Savart's law. I dl sin theta by r square. But r is the distance. But here the distance is a. So that's why in place of r becomes a. Whereas this theta is 90 degree. So sin 90 becomes 1. So into sin alpha. So 2 as it is mu naught by 4 pi I dl, I as it is summation of dl by a square into sin alpha. So whereas the summation of dl is circumference of the circle by 2. So what is the circumference formula? 2 pi r by 2. Whereas sin alpha, from this triangle, alpha is the angle, alpha opposite side is r, and this is hypotenuse. So equation 2 becomes B equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 I pi r by a square into r by a. So if you just rearrange the term, r into r becomes r square, then a square into a becomes a cube. Again you are applying the Pythagoras formula to the triangle here, r square plus x square equal to a square, then a becomes r square plus x square whole power 1 by 2. 1 by 2 indicates root. So a cube means a power 3 becomes r square plus x square whole power 3 by 2. So in place of a cube, we substituted this value r square plus x square whole power 3 by 2. Where is this n indicates turns. How many turns? N turns. If a coil is having n turns, then we can write the expression as B equal to mu naught by 4 pi into 2 pi I r square into n by r square plus x square into 3 by 2. So this is the final expression for the magnetic field we have calculated along the axis of the circular coil, at a point P at a distance x from the center of the circular coil. Magnetic field at a point on the axis of circular coil. What is the final expression? B equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 pi I r square into n divided by r square plus x square whole power 3 by 2. B equal to mu naught by 4 pi, that is a constant, 2 pi I r square into n by r square plus x square whole power 3 by 2. What is I? Current. What is r? Distance. N, number of turns. And where is x? Is the axis distance. That is this one, the point P at a distance x. So whereas the r is the radius of the circular coil. Now magnetic field at a point on the axis is this one. The formula is this one. Now magnetic field at the center of the circular coil. Now we are deducing the relation for the magnetic field at the center of the circular coil. So in previous session, the circular coil is here, the point P is here at a distance of x. Now this point P we are keeping exactly at the center itself. That means this P is coming towards the circular coil and directly we are replacing exactly at O itself. So what will be the x value becomes 0. P directly comes to O. So x value becomes 0. That is called center of the circular coil. That means x becomes 0. Then the formula we can write it as B equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 pi I r square into n by, take x value as 0. So r square whole power 3 by 2. What about x here? 0. So x term is neglected. Cancel. R square. Numerator r square is there. Denominator r cube. So r square, this one. Cancel. So B equal to mu naught by 4 pi into 2 pi I n divided by r. B equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 pi I into n divided by r. R square by r cube, it becomes 1 by r. So this is the expression for the magnetic field exactly at the center of the circular coil. So to deduce the relation from the axis of the circular coil, in place of x we have substituted 0. Why? Because 0, the point P is keeping at in the last session the point P is at a distance x from the center of the circular coil, but now the point P is we are keeping exactly at the center. So the value of x becomes 0. So hence, when x becomes 0, here r square whole power 3 by 2 is there. So r square as it is divided by r cube, because square and this will get cancelled. R square by r cube becomes 1 by r. So this is the final expression. Read once again. B equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 pi I into n divided by r. So this expression we are going to use when to calculate the magnetic field at the center of the circular coil. And this expression we are going to use magnetic field at a point on the axis of which coil? Circular coil. Here also circular coil, but it is along the axis and where it is the center of the circular coil. So remember these two most important equations. Next, one more topic, that is solenoid. A long coil of wire consisting of closely packed loops is called a solenoid. What is meant by a solenoid? A long coil. Long coil means it is having more length compared to radius, and these solenoids are used to find the magnetic field. A long coil of wire consisting of closely packed loops. Closely, the packs are in closed form, called a solenoid. And here there are 1 mark questions, formulas they are going to be asked in our examination. Magnetic field due to inside a solenoid. What is the mathematical expression for magnetic field inside a solenoid is B equal to mu naught n into I. Next, magnetic field due to end of the solenoid, that is B equal to mu naught n I by 2. I means current, n means number of turns. Inside a solenoid, expression is B equal to mu naught n I, and end of the solenoid B equal to mu naught n I by 2. In the same way, one more 1 mark definition, that is toroid. It is an endless solenoid. It is in the form of a ring or a closed shape or circular shape. In a solenoid is a toroid. It is an endless solenoid. That means that is in the form of circular shape. And this is, whereas the solenoid is having this shape, whereas the toroid is in the circular shape, and it is an endless solenoid in the form of a ring. That is ring shaped solenoid. We can say directly a ring shaped solenoid is called as toroid. So the magnetic expression for the toroid is given by B equal to mu naught n into I. And these two, there is no need to practice the derivation. Only expressions are important, whereas for solenoid, definition as well as the formula, whereas for toroid, the definition as well as the formula, and no need to practice the derivation part. And you can see the figure of the solenoid here, and the expression for the solenoid inside, it is B equal to mu naught Ni, whereas for the end of the solenoid, B equal to mu naught Ni by 2. For toroid, you can see the figure here. The toroid expression is B equal to mu naught Ni. The ring shape or round shape solenoid is called toroid. Straight form is called as solenoid.